Alright, how are we? Let me see, I set my laptop over here so I can see, because I cannot see on my phone. Offline, check out this stream from 5 seconds ago. Okay, live now. Looks good. Let me turn off my computer noises. Can I see my hand? That's a lot of lag, but it'll have to do. Alright, let's open up this chat. Show me chat. There we go. Let's see. Stream manager, please. All right, I think we're good. Laptop's plugged in so it doesn't die. I just have to make sure I don't accidentally unplug it when I sit down. All right, so this isn't gonna be a particularly long stream because I do have to leave for work at like 4, maybe 4:30. And I have a coffee. Yum. I'm gonna try my very best not to spill it like I did on my Majora's Mask stream. I'd be very, very sad. All right. Let's see, what should I start with? I have my, I put my palette in view here. Oh, you can kind of see the clip here. Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. The wiggly worm's gonna wiggle for a bit every time I touch it. So I do have my Himi gouache palette here. But there's not enough space, I think, on the camera to keep this centered and have it on screen. So you're gonna see what I'm mixing here, but you won't see the palette itself. But I think I want to start with a base of watercolor. I've been doing that a lot recently. So I think I'm going to take out my Winsor Newton Cotman palette, and we'll try to find a nice base color for this bunny. A nice, I think, mid-tone. So let's see, I think we'll do this guy. This is my favorite brush for gouache and watercolor, by the way. This is by Holbein. It's the AC Maru. It's nylon, and this is a 10. I have a 10. Let me get those out now so I don't have to grab them later. A 10, a 0, and where's my other one? My most used size is probably this one, the 6. So let's get these out. I think I'm gonna start with the 10 so we can get a nice wash. I kind of already have like a brown color here, but this bunny is a little bit of a very light tan color, so I might go with this first. Maybe grab a little bit of that. Yeah, let's really water it down. This sketchbook is the Royal Talons Art Creations sketchbook. Maybe a little more red. And it technically says it's watercolor, but it doesn't hold a ton of water, so I don't want to make it too watery. It's also why I have it flat instead of on an easel. So it's going to make it a little difficult for me to see, especially because the camera's right overhead and I don't want my head in the way. But I don't want it to drip either, so let's see. Let's just do the whole thing. I don't want to see, I was going to say the white of the page, but this is cream paper. Let's just get a big wash of that. Because I'm using gouache, I can bring back any lighter areas if I need to. Like right here is pretty white, but I'd rather get this down first. Like that. Also, nowadays I don't really care about staying in the lines because I always clean it up on my iPad anyway. So if you get really anxious about me going outside the lines, don't worry, I can clean it up digitally. Alright, there we go. It's a nice base color. I think I'm gonna stick with the bigger brush for now, and then we'll gradually move to smaller brushes. You're gonna see my coffee move across the screen every time I take a sip. Sorry about that. Okay. Where to start? I think I'll put this away. Do we wanna, let's get a eye color. So we'll use kind of the sepia, make it real dark. Because I already have some in the pan here. So we'll start with like a dark brown. I like starting with a big brush so that you don't get too detailed too quickly. Because like, you know, you're gonna cover up a whole bunch of things anyway as you work. But also means sometimes I just put massive strokes on the page that I don't mean to. But that's alright, it's fine. We're fine. We'll put this aside. Hopefully it doesn't get everywhere because I just closed it, but I don't think I have enough water in there anyway. More coffee. And I usually wouldn't wear my watch while I'm painting, but because I'm recording on my phone, I want to make sure I can see the time. Though I do have it on my laptop as well. Okay, now one thing I learned with the froggy painting was I need to let the watercolor dry a little bit before I really get going. I would show you, but I already clipped that. And the bee painting turned out a whole lot better. Like it was less struggle, less mistakes to cover up because I did use less water and waited for it to dry a little bit before going over with the other colors. So let's see. It's still a little wet. I'm gonna try to avoid the eye. Okay, and I'm not gonna leave this in my jar. We don't do that here. These are very nice brushes. They're not super expensive, but they are very nice, and I like the wood color. But they're so firm, and they keep a really nice point. They're just perfect for gouache. I don't know about watercolor. You might want something that holds more water if you do more watercolor than I do, but this is perfect for gouache. Alright, we'll put that aside so I can grab my 6. We need sort of like a ready... Ooh, that's crunchy. Why are you crunchy? I always clean my brushes after. I never use acrylic with these brushes. So it's kind of this. I don't want it too dark, so I don't want to add the burnt umber. But red is so strong, but we're gonna go for it. I didn't squirt these either. Usually I would reactivate them a bit with like a spray bottle, but I didn't bother today. The ones I usually use aren't that dry. How is that? I feel like that's too yellow. I still need a little red. I might add some white. It's not picking up the red because it's dry. Okay. Yeah, I think we need some white. Luckily, I got some white on my palette. There, that's like a perfect color. Add a little more water. Just a little. I'm like nearly out of white in my original palette. So I did go and buy the Holbein white. That's a nice color. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Where do I even start? Is that too thick? Let's thin that out just a bit. I thought it was too thin, but it feels too thick actually. So is this bunny a boy or a girl bunny? What do you think? And what's the bunny's name? It's gotta be an alliteration. So it needs to start with a B. Also, by the way, with my B, her name is in fact B, but it's actually a nickname. The nickname is spelled B-E-E, just like the animal, but her real name is Beatrice. Get it? Beatrice, the bee, whose nickname is B, because she's a bee. I like it. It's just the first thing that came to me, but it seemed right. So I also was thinking about Henry the Hedgehog, my little hedgehog, and I don't know. I feel like I missed a prime wordplay opportunity by naming him Henry instead of Harry. I just felt like Harry was overdone, but then I realized in Japanese, hedgehogs are harinezumi, so like needle mouse. And how do you say Harry in Japanese? Hari? Which sounds very similar. It's not exactly the same because it's a long E, but I feel like it's close enough that that would just be the perfect choice. Hari, the harinezumi. Right? Alright, I'm gonna start. Ooh! Oh my god. There's some red in here. Guess I picked up a dried chunk by accident. It was hiding in my brush. Ooh! Alright, that's fine. The good thing about gouache is it's reactivatable. Reactivatable? Reactable. You can reactivate it. Oh, okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. We can, it's opaque and we can go over it later. Can't even see it now. Just looks too watery. Alright, I'm trying to kind of go in the shape of the like hair growth a little bit, because some of this texture will show through eventually. I mean, eventually most of it's going to be covered, but some of it will show through. Let's see. The ears, this ear's pretty light, so I might just not go over that part. And then this ear's pretty dark. Should I start mixing a darker color? What should I? Should we go for some... Ooh, is that dark? Is that too dark? Add some of this. Ooh. That's nice. That doesn't look quite dark enough. How about this? It's probably gonna try darker. Wasn't I talking about something? Yeah, Harry the Hedgehog sounds better than Henry, because it's Huddy. Yep, that's what I've decided. But I think his name's already Henry, so maybe he'll get a friend someday. Maybe someday he'll get a friend named Harry, and we can call him Huddy the Huddy-nizzy. Should I start adding this darker color to the darker parts of the face? Well, it's still wet, so it's not quite as intense. This is more red. I'm gonna put a little bit of this down here in like the direction of the fur, but most of the shadows here are pretty red, so I'll do a little bit of that. This part is pretty cool. So let's go and do that. I want to keep the contour of the face. Right, and then this line tells me it stops here. And then the leg, front leg starts here. So back leg, front leg, body. Where else do we see these darker colors? Over here. We have a couple lines here, like where the contours of his body are. This is a little orangey. Maybe I'll add some medium yellow. Gonna need some white soon though. I should put some white on the palette. How's that? That's a little dark. We need some white. Alright. Oh, that wasn't where I wanted to put it, was it? I put the... Okay, that will be our super light. And then let's see if I grab more of this medium yellow. Add a little water. Shouldn't use my dirty water. A lot of water. How's that? I'm holding it up to my iPad. Pretty good. Doesn't look very different right here. It's a bit of a shadow here. Let's use this as sort of like a half tone. Now this whole part is in a lot of shadow, so I'm gonna have to go a lot darker there. We can put a little bit of this on the face. I know it's gonna have to be very red, but sorry, my voice. Allergies. I also noticed watching some of my videos, I often have my like my fingers are like way up here. I feel like I should try to be a little looser sometimes. So I'm gonna try to hold further back on the brush. And I feel like this is good practice because I don't want to lean my head over the camera. This is not as light as I thought it was gonna be. Lighter. Okay, I say that and then I grip right towards the front. We're just gonna go for it. We don't need to, it doesn't need to be perfect. I like to see a lot of brush strokes. Basically, I just want to get in like the right direction of fur growth. So it's a suggestion of where the fur is. This would be a nice color. No, that needs to be pinker in there. Up here would be nice. I want to try and use these colors like throughout as much as I can. Like obviously I'm not going to use it in the super, super, super dark parts because this is too light. I might, but I'll have to put the dark first because you need the dark under. Like just there's a couple highlights. I wish I could show my reference, but there's no way. Not enough space here to like show it as I'm working. A little bit of this. Sometimes I just take random colors on the palette and mix them. Like sometimes you end up with sort of like a mid value, but even if it's like not of the same hue, sometimes I just like it's nice. I don't know, it helps bring everything together. It's looking a little dark now, but I know that's because we haven't done any of the highlights yet. So do I want to make, I don't know if I want to make this quite as dark as in the reference, because I want it to be a little bright, so I don't have to stick directly to the reference if I don't want to. Also, I keep going into my dirty water. Why do I keep doing that? It's a little darker, right? But see, I just mixed what was on the brush with what was here, so it's sort of an in-between between that darkest color and the one I was just using. See, this is a little lighter than that shadow that I had there before. Let's see. What do I want for this area? I don't want to go quite as dark, but it needs to be a little darker, so I'm going to do a little bit more for burnt umber. Burnt umber? Is this burnt umber? What am I even grabbing? Hopefully that's not too dark. I'm really excited for the palette that I just made. That's not dark enough for the shadow, but we can go ahead and do his chest like this. I keep saying his, so I guess this is a boy bunny. Should it just be Bunny the Bunny? But Bunny's like usually a girl name, but it doesn't matter. Should it? Not Bob. No, not Bob. We're not doing Bob. Why did I just think Benvolio? That's too violent. I'm too violent of a story. No thanks. I don't know, man. What should his name be? I might have to ask. I already asked on Instagram, like, which bunny should I paint? And not lots of people, but more than usual, people commented with their opinions, which I really appreciated. That was kind of fun. So I think that might be something I do from now on, like ask for a little vote. So maybe we should vote on what this little bunny's name will be. What's your name, sir? Benny? Benny the bunny? Oh, that's cute. Benny the bunny. We got a little Benny the bunny, I think. That's okay. We'll see if it sticks, you know? You know how, like, I don't know if you've ever adopted an animal and then just started calling them something and that ended up being their name. But we'll see if that happens here. If that's what I just keep calling him, then that's his name. going for like a suggestion of shapes. This needs to be redder. I'm thinking. We need something darker. This needs to be significantly darker. A little bit of this. A little bit of that. I kind of just want to do a lot of, because he has very tufty fur. Tufty? Is that a word? So I really want to get that texture. Oh, I like how it's like sort of, I don't have a lot of paint on the brush right now, so it's less opaque, it's more clear over here. I like that. A happy accident. So that's a little darker. We got a shadow by the eye. See, it's very watered down now. So let's get a bunch of that texture here, and I'll go over with a what's the word? Like a warmer color. I don't know. I'm very cool tone. I just prefer cool tones. But I want to like branch out a bit. But this reference has very, like, again, I don't have to stick to the reference, but it has, like, he's very red, orangey fur when the sunlight, where the sunlight really directly hits. So I'm like fighting the urge to desaturate everything or to cool everything down. But like, that's also what I like. That's my style. That's what I like. So maybe I should just settle for like a happy medium. Ooh, I like that. We're gonna fix his eye, by the way. It's a little, this is milk consistency at the moment. It's a little wetter than I intended. But that's fine. Sometimes, like, it looks bad at first when I lay it down. I'm like, oh my god, it's too, like, viscous. But once it dries, I actually really like, sometimes where it like pools at the end of the stroke. Actually, I really like that. How it dries a lot of the time. Oh yeah, get it over here. That's a little too clumped together. It's okay, we're gonna break it up later. Let's get a little bit on his nose now, sort of bring out his nose. Cute. Alright, and now let's get some of this light here. It doesn't look very light. I need more paint. There we go. Now it's quite light here. So I'm gonna put this down first. It's actually pretty gray, surprisingly, so I might have to take this. Yeah. Down here. Nice. Because this is actually white fur. So I'll lay a little bit of that down so that later I can go in with like a lighter white. Maybe I should do that on the other side as well. Just a little bit here on his feetsies. Yes. Because his feet are very white. Or light, but they're also very gray. Very desaturated. Cool. I don't want to like use, it feels like I'm using desaturated and cool interchangeably. It's not. It's just these warmer tones in this reference image happen to be mostly more saturated because that's where the light is really hitting. Right, so this feels like it's pooling a little too much, but I know when it's dry, it's gonna look a little more like how this is drying. So that's fine. I think it's cute so far. It's not even close to finished, but like, I'm already like excited. Let's mix a little more of this so we can start on his sort of chin area. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. I'm gonna bring this down as well. And let's do a little more here. Bring that out. Bring that out, because that dried so dark. He has a very dark sort of shadow. Ooh, super dark. That's really dark. Down here. That's very gray because it's white. Actually, it's kind of green, but I think it's from the grass. So I'm gonna resist the urge to put in green because this is not gonna have a background. It's gonna be a sticker. So I feel like I need to add this down here now. Nice. His feet aren't that dark, but I'll add a couple places over here and maybe a little here. It's not in the reference, but you know what? It's our painting. Liking it so far. I feel like I need to add a few more tones in the middle on his chest because you can still kind of, it looks, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it looking a little see-through, but the thing I like about gouache is how opaque it is, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. So we have these colors. I want to sort of keep all the same colors so everything's cohesive. So I'll just add a little more burnt umber and some white. So we just have sort of a hint. Oh, that was too much. Or maybe not. We have sort of a hint of the orange because the shadows in this reference are pretty desaturated, like I said, so. Oh, my laptop went black. Why? Why is my laptop black? Is that automatic sleep mode? Did I turn that on? I thought I turned that off. Yeah, that's on. Okay. That's too much water. Yeah, see, I like that. I like this mix of different tones, and then we're going to bring it out later with some of the lighter tones. We'll keep some of that out, maybe even a little bit of the cream from the page. And then this needs to be a little darker again. Might as well use the same color. I'm gonna resist the urge to try and shape his mouth all the way because he has a lot of like white whiskers that really bring out the shape themselves. So I'm gonna resist the urge. Let me warm this up a bit. That's very gray. A very gray. Now this is pretty dark here, so oh, that might be too much. I'm taking some from my bee painting, so hopefully it works. Oh yeah, I like that better. This is very gray, but I'm sort of like not sure what to do because it's very green. Even here is very green, like around the bottom of the chest because it's reflecting off the grass, but we don't have grass here. Bring in a little bit of this. So I might just wanna go with like a white. a little light, but it's very thin, so we'll see how it dries. And it sort of goes, Let's see. Should I start working on his eye again? Let's get that dark brown. Might even add a little black in a minute. I can't really see what I'm doing. That's the bad thing about filming. If I scoot in to look, you will only see my head. Okay. Let's do a little bit of black. Maybe we'll get some pure black. You can't see that at all. I'm down here in that area. And it's okay if it's a little wet, because it will blend better. Quite a big pupil. I kind of want to preserve a little bit, just so it's not so hard to get that highlight. How's that? Not gonna do the highlight yet. I will not be tempted. Let's have a sip. And maybe we should work on some lighter colors. That's too much. Yeah, like this. Pop it over here. Yeah, I like that. Now we can start really adding some dimension. Trying to not fill full areas because I want to see the dark underneath. Again, I want sort of that tufted look, so they're in a lot of bunches here. Maybe we can add some of this here. Oh, this is a nice color for this spot. And it sort of blends into here. This would be nice for here too. Let me grab some more. This little edge of the ear. And then let me grab a little bit. Again, I don't want too much red. Red's so strong. But we want a pink. A very, very light pink. Do some of that. Nice. Probably gonna dry darker, but that's okay because I'm gonna put up some little white hairs. Oh, I like that actually. I like that blend towards the bottom. That was an accident, but it worked. Okay, let's get that red out of there. Let that dry a bit, and then I think I'll go back into this lighter tone. A little darker than that, so we can add just a couple hairs. Then lighten this part up a bit. It's not doing much because it's very watered down. Oh, I left this spot, so I could put a little highlight there. How are we doing? We need something a little darker here, because that did not dry as dark as I wanted. It's definitely cooler than the reference, but you know what? I think that's just what I'm going with now. ooh, there's like a nice spot here if I let it stay watered down. His little nose right on his right side, our left side. Maybe make this a little darker here. Again, that tried lighter than I intended, than I expected. Okay, so let's use that same color very lightly and sort of, you can see his mouth, and we need a darker color. You can see his sort of mouth, but it's broken up by the whiskers, so I don't need it too dark. I don't want like the line to show through the whiskers, so let's just do that. And there's lots of fur, so it's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be sort of rough. And then underneath, I'm going to add a little more that medium yellow, and then a little more burnt umber because I want it a little warmer. Let's loosen that up with some water. Do some of the really dark shadow right there. I think we can start going in really dark now. That's kind of what I want. I want to see, like, I'm not going to do like any line art, but I really want to define, I want these occlusions, where different contours meet, so we can really start to understand. Whoa! I knew I was gonna, I hit my laptop cord. We're fine, we're okay. Bring that back in. This is not very dark here, but I'm just gonna do a couple of dots just so we can see. I will do very, very lightly some of these darker ones. Again, I don't have a lot of paint on my brush anymore. This needs to be darker. I like that. Let's do some by the bottom of his feet. And then he has a little claw here, so. Oh, I like that a lot. Maybe down here, because it's being obscured by the grass in the reference image. But I'm guessing it would kind of look like this. I don't have a lot left on my brush here, so it's not quite as dark here, which is good. That looks too round. Let's see his beaties. I like how it's turned out so far. Let's see, what's next? Should I bring this down a little bit more and do a little, yeah. I like that. Let's do some of this. Okay, and this kind of is too light here. It's still a little wet. There we go. Don't want it quite as dark, but I do want to see the shape of his chin. Okay, blend that in a bit. I don't know why, but I keep getting a habit of, I'm developing a habit of when I like am sitting and looking at something, my art, and like trying to figure out what to do next, I pinch my nose. Like it's itchy or something, but it's not itchy. I need to pinch something. It's my nose. Good thing you can't see that. Alright. Looking at it on the camera. Since this is showing it from above. I like how it looks. Again, I don't want it too dark. One, because, well, actually, like a big part of it is when it's too dark, it doesn't print well. You can't see a lot of it. Like it just always prints darker, especially on the glossy paper. So we're gonna try to avoid being too dark. I'm gonna try to find a mid-tone between this and this, and we'll do a little more here. So I kind of covered it up with the lighter color before. And I want some texture. So I think we're about at the point where, oh, we need this as well. I hope that's not too dark. That's fine. I think we're at the point where I'm going to start adding a lot more highlight. So let's get into this white. It's drying out. I should have got my spray bottle. Why did I use the dirty water? Don't want it too wet though, otherwise it won't show up. Okay, so we don't want quite a pure white yet. So let's start over here. It's quite long for down here, so again, big tufts. Because it's the big tufts that are really catching the light. And I'm going a little more dramatic than the reference image. It's a lot more contrast, which I tend to do anyway, and I think a lot of people do because that's just how photos are, especially depending on the lighting, and like sometimes things that look good on a photo don't translate well into a painting without, like, you sort of have to adjust it. Especially if you're not going for hyperrealism. You have to take what's most important. So I'm doing around the eye first because I want to make sure I can get that little pink waterline. I think that's super cute. Gotta bring out my white in here, a little bit here. He's kind of in shadow on this side, but there's a little bit you can still see. And like I said, I was gonna do some white hairs here. There's not as much as what I'm doing, but again, I want to draw our attention. I want to make a lot of contrast. So this is actually a lot lighter in general, but instead of doing like a wash or a glaze, I'm going to add these white dots because I want to really bring out the texture. Not dots, strokes. Okay, and that's too light, I think, for I used the dirty water again, why? For the chest. So, let's mix this up with some of this. Make it pretty thin. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I like that. It's gonna try a little darker. So it's kind of almost curly in the middle part here. Ooh, and there's a whole, like that's all being hit by light. Just like this side. I like that, I like that. Yeah, maybe I will sort of blend this in a little more. I need more medium orange and very beginning. And maybe a little of this red. I'll mix it right here. No, let's just bring it up here. Yeah, because I want to sort of fade this a little bit more. So I'll do bigger strokes. Because this side of his face is considerably lighter. It does feel a little too harsh. Because I want his little muzzle to stand out more. And then this is also lighter. Let's go in here. Like I said I would do before. Cute, cute, cute. Now this is darker. Oh, I didn't mean to actually put a spot there. And that's the really reddy tone, so let's get a tiny bit of red. I'm so afraid of red. It's so strong. Red pigment is so strong. And some of that medium yellow. And a little tiny bit of burnt umber. And then yellow ochre. Need more burnt umber, I think. Too much! That was too much. No. No. We did add white before, didn't we? I keep using the dirty water. Ugh. Okay, now we need more red because I went and cooled it down way too much. That's looking better. Still needs more red. It's not picking up the red because it's dry. Oh, was that too much? Let's see. Oh, it's like the same color. I need more burnt umber. But I don't want to grab too much. Was that too much? I know it's probably going to dry darker. Okay, I'll do like his little whisker points there. So a little dip there. How's that? That was a lot of mixing for just a little bit. Okay. Alright, should we start working on that eye? So it's like it's a really dark brown, but I kind of want to lighten it up a bit just so you can see it more. Let's take what we already just mixed here. It's really, ooh, why don't we take a little of this? Yeah. It's quite thin, so hopefully it's not too strong. It's not as brown as I want it, but that is cute. I do like it. It does stand out more. And then it's drying darker. Let's add a tiny bit of white, like from here, because there's sort of a light area here. Okay. And then let's go for sort of like a gray catch light. Maybe that's thin enough to do it. Oh, that is a lot, but you know what? That's cute. It's fine. It's fine. It's not what I intended, but it is fine. It's fine. We're fine. Okay, now I really wanted to do his cute little pink, like, waterline. So I'm gonna take my 0 brush. Let's make a little pink, like a pastel pink. I keep going for the dirty water. I should just switch my jars. That's why. because my clean one's further away. Low power mode. Looks like we gotta finish up, guys, because my iPad is on low power. Just a little bit. Oh, dang it. Don't turn off on me. Oh, that's cute. I like this color too. We could do it in the ear. Yeah, I like that. What do we think? Is that a good place to stop? Because my iPad's dying now. I might touch it up a bit, but I think I should quit for now. What do we think? Let me clean it up on my iPad once I plug it in and charge it. And we'll see if we think it'll make a nice sticker. So thanks for watching. Not a really popular time of day for streams, so I don't think anyone actually watched it live. But I'm definitely going to export this to YouTube, and it's going to stay up on my Twitch for however long. So yeah. Bye.